Welcome back to Central News. Now, 1 in 5 New Zealanders suffer from mental illness, and one of the most common problem is anxiety. And joining me now is Jaine Kirtley from Katoa to tell us a little bit more about it. Welcome to the show, Jaine.
Thank you.
Welcome back again after the break. Anxiety is the most common mental health problem.
Yes, yeah, the anxiety states, yeah.
Tell me, why is that?
Well, I guess we don't really know all the answers to that, but an awful lot of research is going to it. Really, it's probably a multifactorial thing, so lots of influences on that, but certainly the research that's now emerging, more and more of it is showing that the diet, the nutrition is hugely important in all aspects of mental health, but particularly with anxiety and depression as well. Yeah.
See, it always comes back to diet and health, doesn't it?
It really does.
Nutrition.
They're the foundations. They're the foundations. That's how our body's composed, and we've got to get those nutrients in to make it well.
Yeah, and I know New Zealand is very high with anxiety. I mean, higher than America, which is quite shocking.
America's slightly higher than New Zealand.
Slightly higher.
But it's only second in line out of all the countries for anxiety. Yeah, so we're not doing so well on that front.
Yeah. It's not just basically on diet and nutrition, though, is it? There's other factors involved.
Oh, there's an enormous amount of factors, there's lifestyle, there's exercise, there's family dynamics, there's jobs, there's employment. There's an awful lot of things involved. But sometimes we can have an effect, make changes, and there's some things that we can't make changes, like none of us, well, we're all struggling to hope that the government or somebody's going to make change to the economy. That's a bit hard, but we can make change to our diet. So if the anxiety is extended because of the economic situation, that's something out of our control, but our diet is within our control, our nutrition is within our control. We can do something about that.
And sort it out.
Yeah.
There is a difference, though, between being anxious and having an anxiety disorder.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, being anxious every now and again, exams coming up or an interview or little bits and pieces, absolutely fine. But it's when it's prolonged, then it becomes a real problem. Yeah.
So how do you know? How do you know if it's going on for a long period of time?
Well, I guess you really know if it's beginning to influence all sorts of areas of your life. So if it's fairly short, maybe a few days, possibly a week or two, that you're worried about a particular event. But if it's going on and it's not just that event but another event, or it's beginning to affect your work life or your family life, then you've got to say, well, is there something more with this? It's more than a couple of weeks or so.
Yeah. Magnesium. I've heard magnesium is such a fantastic thing to take, to sort of calm the nerves and to sort of get you back onto balance. Is this something we should be taking?
Certainly some people with anxiety, definitely, this should be something they're taking. They also need to look to get their magnesium in their diet, never neglect that. But interesting, a lot of early research has found that the way Benzodiazepines, which are drugs that help to relieve anxiety, pharmaceutical drugs, that magnesium has the same effect on the receptors in the brain. Because they're saying, well, why is it the magnesium works to relax? And that's one of the things it does. So early on we're exploring how it works. So certainly it can be helpful if people have got a severe anxiety states,
I mean, yes, and magnesium is something that's great that you can take, if you know you're going to be anxious, maybe before an interview or before a special event, you can sort of just top yourself up.
You certainly can. Yeah, you can certainly do that, and definitely that ongoing anxiety, that's the time to really sort of think, well, I've got to be taking this in a regular way to really get the benefits, because that's likely to be depletion. There's a lot of research that actually shows people who have anxiety states have low levels of magnesium. And the other thing, that magnesium is low in New Zealand soils. So, this is maybe one of the reasons why anxiety states are so high. A lot of farmers will supplement the feed or the soil with magnesium sulfate. It's not a form of magnesium for humans to take, by the way. No. Must have dire consequences. But so that's definitely not a form to take. And of course, the best form to take is the Food State form, the entire Katoa, which has got low dose and high absorbability in the body and high bioavailability.
Yeah.
A lot of research to back up that. Yeah.
That's what you need. I mean, if you're going to take supplements with magnesium, you need something that is going to be easily absorbed.
Yeah,
you know, you
definitely.
don't want something that you have to supplement with something else to help to absorb it.
That's right, and you don't want to overdose with it.
No.
You don't want to have something that might possibly get into toxic amounts. So always follow the dose on the bottle, whatever you're taking.
Yeah.
So if you think, oh, I've got this event, I'm feeling a bit more anxious, it's better to take a regular amount rather than say, oh, I'll have another one and another one later on in the day and another one. That's really not the way to take it. Yeah.
It's good to take supplements because, as you said, I mean, we haven't got those high levels in our food and in our soils. If we are looking for it to get it out of food, is there certain foods we should be eating? Yeah,
definitely. Things like nuts, very high in magnesium, especially things like almonds, all the green leafy vegetables. Anything green has got magnesium in. So magnesium is in the chlorophyll of plants, which it's the main constituent. So anything to do with green or yellow or whatever plants, all got the magnesium in. And a certain extent in meat, there's magnesium in there too. So there's possibilities. But if you concentrate mainly on the green leafy vegetables, that's a really great source. And of course, providing you so many other nutrients too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you always feel good after eating veggies, you know,
Yes.
anyway. So,
That's
it's
right.
going to boost you up a bit. If you're in that state where you need like a naturopath to take a look at your diet, to maybe give you a few supplements to help with your anxiety, is it a long treatment? Is it something that you have to get treatment for?
Not necessarily. You don't have to necessarily see the naturopath for a long time. And the research on how people have responded to taking magnesium sort of varies between a couple of months to 6 months, but I've seen people respond very quickly within a couple of weeks or so, and certainly the B vitamins are always worth considering as well as far as vitamins are concerned.
Yes.
Definitely B vitamins with anxiety, but I reckon you should see the results in 2 to 3 weeks. But the studies have shown, you know, longer period of time. Of course, if people have got an anxiety state that's been going on for maybe months, possibly years, they've got that underlying depletion, and so they might need that sort of ongoing support over a long period of time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Jaine, thank you so much for joining me. And you're
pleasure.
From Katoa?
Entire Katoa.
Entire Katoa.
Yes.
So fantastic. Thank you so much, Jaine.
You're welcome.
Jaine Kirtley, they're taking a look at anxiety, your health, and magnesium. Right, coming up after the break, it's called mainly music, but it's so much more than that. Find out more next.